Episode number 75, Seller Club Podcast. Drop that beat. Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Hello.
Yo.
I love how that turned into like bullet points. Episode 75, Seller Club Podcast. Drop that beat.
Yeah, all in a row. Ready to go.
Trimmed all the fat out of there.
Exactly. We are very, very busy right now during this time.
Yes, it is busy, isn't it?
It is the last episode of April.
Okay, now we're getting into May, so...
May.
And
maybe we'll see all those flowers we're supposedly
more like
getting
pollens.
with all the April rain, right? Yeah, more I think that's what's happening, yeah.
It's been raining a lot. Is it? Does it rain in El Paso, Glen?
You know what? It did rain like 2 weeks ago pretty bad, but... Yesterday was just like crazy wind, dirt, nasty.
Oh,
it is just
windstorm.
Gross. Yeah,
desert
gross
planet
right now.
Yeah. So they're calling for like hail this week.
Really?
So I cleaned out my garage yesterday because I want to pull in the cars.
Yeah.
Can't afford hail damage.
No.
So yeah, that's been it. It's been raining a lot. I actually been doing some cleanup outside. Weeds are starting to pop out. I thought they were flowers, right? But they're weeds.
I mean, who decides? Who decides?
Yeah, they identify as flowers. They still have flowers. They
have flowers on them. I mean,
what are those round white things?
The dandelions?
Yeah. They're like everywhere, and I feel like they're the one that's causing my allergy. So I'm at a point where I'm taking allergy meds every day, and I have to choose whether because like I can only take one every 12 hours. So do I take one at the beginning of the day or midday? But if I take midday, I can't take one right before I sleep because the worst. I mean, I've been waking up at like 3 or 4 and just like allergies just flare up.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Always a difficult choice.
Yeah, it is.
How to
right?
time that? Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
So
I don't like that. But as far as business goes, first off, Kenny, what about sourcing right now? Are you depending on older inventory that you've sourced, let's say a couple months ago, and you're still kind of like photos and getting that all lined up?
Yeah, I feel like this month really, we've pretty much listed all of the ones that we've bought from those big lots. Now it's just like refining, double checking, and it still happens. I don't know, like, listings that fell off the crack that, you find 10 pairs of shoes that you still have, but it's not listed.
Yeah.
So that's where I guess it's tedious because now you got to pull that out, like for shoes without box, you gotta rip the poly bags because we poly bag them and take photos of them, which is a good problem to have. But now we're trying to diversify and trying to sell a different platform. We deleted all our GOAT listings and now all our shoes are in GOAT, so that was cool.
Kind of like updating the pricing, I guess.
Yeah, reprice because some of those dunks that I've had for a long time that I was trying to get $100, now they're like $50. It's like you might have to cut losses now. It's not like it's gonna go up. So there's that, and then also really about to start peeking into what do you call that, other sourcing opportunity. Mainly I've been still going to Ross. Ross has been good. I mean. I get inspired with all the hashtag Ross finds. I still peek in there. So I still been getting those, but obviously it's not enough to replenish what you sell, right? So,
but would you say that comparing, now look, both of your store, Anna and Ken, I am looking at them. I've been observing them. All right. So this is a different episode.
Oh man.
It's a reseller roast.
This is called Hot Seat.
And so, Kenny, would you say that you still have a lot of Nike listed, or are the other brands just taking over on your solds? Because it seems like Hoka, Asics, New Balance are
Adidas.
like Adidas. I mean, I see way more of those sold than the swoosh, and so
Yeah, I would agree that, I think like quantity wise, I still have way more Nikes because, it's just easier to buy Nikes in deeper quantity. But definitely I've been way more diversified more than ever. Like I was never a Patagonia seller, but, I have Patagonia now.
Yeah.
I'm a cool soccer mom, shops in my store now.
Hey, when Brooks and Solomon are showing up on here for the
Oh,
100
you
plus
already,
range, you already
right?
know.
I just sold a Solomon for $100. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull teeth trying to get $100 for a Nike shoe, but Solomon, no, they take it. So I'm like,
And a women's at that.
Yeah, and women's-
Solomon, $110 going to authenticity.
that's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
And you know what? Like I literally had a conversation with JC. I was like, man, that was literally our last batch of buy. It's like, should we buy this? And at that point, it's like, might as well.
Yeah.
It's not even a shoe that you're hunting for. And then when you start seeing the sales, like, oh, the next go around if I find them anywhere else. So now I'm actually like looking at websites that have like markdowns, clearance sales, because if I could sell for 110, like I'd be willing to pay $40 for them.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. So, I mean, that's good to hear as far as like going through, double checking the inventory. I guess for future sourcing, I guess what does that look like for May? You have anything in mind or anything that you're going to try to
Definitely
attack
hitting
to
outlets.
add?
Definitely
Okay.
hitting Nike outlets harder. Converse outlets. Their prices have been dropping, which is really good. Good news. And also, there's been a lot of like I keep in touch on like whatnot sellers too. Like not the hype sneaker sellers, but are like just the regular shoe sellers there. Like I've been seeing like good kinds of Nike shoe that they're pulling, and obviously we see tags from other people that they're finding them. A good friend of mine, Shabby, in DC area, he's been getting like Vomeros for like 59, 69, extra 30 and 40. I'm like, I'm in on those, so really trying to get into like the more newer style, or like the more, I guess you got to be more fashion oriented or fashion kind of like trends, right? Like obviously Solomon has sold Asics because they're it right now.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Anna, let's talk a little bit about solds, a little bit
I
going
mean,
on.
you tell me.
You tell me. You're looking at my store.
No, I'm
you
just
tell me, homie. All right, so $450 on one of them for a Fender. Well, 4 parts too. Is 1940s.
Super
Wow.
as is. Super
Yeah.
for parts.
How long was this listed for? A good while or somewhat
No.
new? Oh, new.
Yeah,
listing.
not very long. I mean, less than a month, I think.
Mm.
Or definitely less than 2 months.
Was it scared when it sold, or were you scared when it sold? Kind of like, how am I going to make sure
Yeah.
this doesn't come back? And
I
this is
was,
like-
because I also priced it high.
Mm.
And it's just one of those things that there's hardly any comps. It's a wooden body for like a solid body lap steel guitar, so it's
Oh.
missing
Did-
a ton of
Did
stuff.
you take an offer? Did you accept an offer?
I took an offer, yeah.
Okay.
I knew like a very specific person was gonna want that, probably
Yeah.
to refurbish it or hang it on the wall in their studio or whatever. There's only it's going to be a huge project if it's a project guitar, but they're still so rare, even finding parts from them. And this was the whole body, so that'd probably be the hardest part to find. But yeah, I paid up for that at an auction, and then I kind of set all of my auction, like the stuff I sourced from auctions, aside for several months while I was doing a lot of retail arb, and was just like, oh, I'll get to this when I get to it. But I was really nervous when I listed that, and I was really surprised how soon it sold. Honestly, I was like, this is probably going to take forever, but it will be valuable, so it will be worth waiting. And then I didn't even really have to wait, which was awesome. That's
Even
like what
better.
you love to see. So yeah, that was that actually, I mean, including shipping and everything, it might have been my biggest sale ever. It might have just outpaced my last kind of record
Yeah.
for that. which is cool, like for a single item. And I mean, it's there, and no return case has been opened. So knock on all of the wood if you're listening to this.
Sold.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that was really cool. I mean, also just like as a musician, I think it's cool. I could never play a steel guitar probably, but I just think it's like a neat piece of music history that somebody will really appreciate. And even when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so neat!" And I almost got it for like $1. and then finally at like the end of the auction, one other person knew what they were looking at. It was in like a random clean out lot that like didn't really. It had like an umbrella and a broom or something with it. Like other long wooden things were with it. Like the auctioneer was just like, I don't know, this crap, you know. So, but somebody else did bid it up, but I knew what it was, so I was like, nah, I'm not letting go of this one.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of my other two other favorite or great sales on here that I do like, USA basketball shorts.
Oh yeah,
and they had like a little mark on it.
They did. They were like flawed. Yeah.
$72. So was that
sure.
like
Was it new?
Yeah.
I mean, what is it?
Well,
with
new with
but has
imperfections, basically, because it had
yeah.
some kind of a stain, like a mark from the, probably the retail store it came from or whatever.
Yeah,
but
or shipping or something.
yeah, just a little defect. But I was surprised about that too. I priced those high, and when I saw them, that's like something I got in my retail Arbescapades, and I didn't find a bunch of them. I just randomly found
like,
that one pair, and I
USA
was like, well,
basketball,
these are interesting. Like, let's try it, So that was another, like, pleasant surprise. But I feel like that has been happening with a lot of stuff. Like, Ken, you were saying those shoes that sold that were, like, one of the last things you bought where you were like, should I even get this? Like, I sold multiple shoes like that this weekend that, I think it was this weekend. I'm about to ship them out today, but, that were things like that I was like, sure, why not? Like, this is really a really good price for this. The comps are decent. I've never sold it before, but, like, I'll try it. One of them was, like, a Hawaiian brand, like, sandal, and one of them, like, women's size 10, not an ideal size, really. But it sold. And then another thing, and I think I paid, like, $5 or $7 for it. It sold for, like, 40 or 50, I think. And then the other one was a hiking boot that's like really nice, but I don't know anything about hiking boots, I was just like, oh, let me try these. These look like they're really well made, Yeah. So that's been really rewarding. Like some of those little experiments have paid off, and they were research informed experiments, Same thing with the lap steel. But that one just had a lot fewer comps. So
yeah, exactly.
It was a little more of a limb, but that's okay.
Okay, very nice. I think there's one of your sales that kind of goes into like our main topic today, but before we get into the main topic, which is about there was like a video that I saw that I thought was really, really good as far as like this person saying at this point on eBay, what's the number one thing you should be doing or thinking about when you pick up an item?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so that's the thing we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, I did notice. So Kenny, you're running like for a lot of these sales. I see a little 20% off, a little 30% off. But on Anna's store, I see the coupon option, like the $5 off, 50 plus. So, I mean, I kind of wonder. I've never tried the coupon, but I wonder if the coupon works just as well, maybe better, maybe it depends on the store and the seller. What are your thoughts on like the percentage off, Kenny, and then Anna, how do you feel about the coupon, or why choose one or the other?
I think one of the things that we've definitely tried a lot of discount percentage off already, and one of the things that we notice, it's kind of like the bigger discount kind of look, right? If it's 30-40% off, that's definitely like it's more attractive to the buyers. So that's kind of like I try to do 30% and 40% off. The only 20% off I have are pretty much like for lower price items and or like harder to find items. So those are kind of like I'm not really trying to give a big discount on these items. And I think what we've found out is it's a lot smoother on our listing process and our pricing process. So how our operation works right now is JC builds draft, I take the photo, I upload it, and she finishes it on a draft. And we have kind of like, since we deal with mostly brand new items, we have kind of like automatically made it a standard, just list it at a retail price. Because we buy it on discount retailers, so obviously we don't pay retail for them. But for the consumer's point of view, right, you show the price tag, you show the tag, oh, it's a $60 shoe, extra 30% off. They're taking $18 off of on top. So that's kind of like my kind of like the philosophy of how we're doing it right now. Trying to have a win-win situation. I'm giving the buyer a under retail deal, brand new under retail item, branded stuff, and they get to win on that side. So, and also for me, I just need to, get it at 70% off at least, so I could pass on that saving and make money on my end. So that's mine. Coupon I haven't tried, to be honest with you. I haven't tried.
All right, I want to hear Anna's take on the coupon.
Because I clearly have tried it. And there were times in the past where I tried it and I felt like it didn't really do anything. But the last couple of years, I have started using them. Not like constant all the time, but I use them periodically. After talking to our friend Liz O'Kane from Colorado Reborn, and just like, I don't know, she sort of compelled me to take another run at that. And honestly, I feel like for a lot of the reason why I do both. So like right now I have like a blanket percentage off in my store. I don't know if it's 10% or 20 or something, 20 or less usually, but occasionally I'll do a bigger sale than that. But I do that kind of blanket strategy with the markdown sales, and that's, it's like they say, 6 one way, half a dozen the other, right? So for some people, their psychology sees 10% off and they're like, wow, that's great, I better take advantage of that. And for other people, they're like, 10%'s like nothing, but give me a concrete $5 off of 50. And for some reason that seems like that's a meaningful, like, actual amount of money, right, like on this sale. So I think for some people, they just gravitate more to like the dollar amount. For some people, it kind of hits home with them more, right, if it's a percentage off or a dollar amount. And so like 5 off of 50 is just 10%, and you can stack them, but the coupon is also kind of like, it's out there, it's in my store, it's on the pages of my listings, and if you're diligent and you see it, then great, you get rewarded for that. Not everyone uses it, and everyone could, Yeah. So that's interesting too. Like, people don't even take advantage of it like a lot of the time. But if they do and they're paying attention, they get an even better deal. And, obviously, I just want to drive sales. So I'm happy to give them $5 off of something. And especially now that I do charge shipping for, like, most things, I think in a lot of people's minds, they're probably just thinking, great, that's kind of like getting free shipping, or it's kind of like getting half shipping. Because, like, a lot of my shoes and stuff are, like, a flat rate, or, like, $10, or, I have some different shipping policies that I use, but $5 against that kind of makes them feel like they're getting free shipping or close to free shipping. So I think that's probably a lot of mental gymnastics, but everybody sees it, a different way. Yeah. And I don't know if it's how powerful it is to go like look in your cart and see, because that's the other thing. I think with the coupon, like, you can't use a coupon on an offer. So if somebody's going to put something in their cart and check out, that's where they can see, oh, here's the discount for the sale, and here's the discount for the coupon. Wow, I'm like stacking up discounts, like, that's a
Which
good...
I think helps too, because they don't want to wait for someone to respond sometimes. Right. Or even the back and forth, like, haggling. Some people just don't like that and want to do that. Like, I just want to get this item at the best price. What can I do to check out now? Exactly.
And I'm like, knock yourself out. That's exactly what I want you to do also. I'd rather not haggle with you. But would I take pretty much $5 off of any item in my store if you were to send me an offer? Like, yeah, definitely. I would accept that offer so fast, Yeah. So it's kind of another way to approach that. But I do like the combination. I think it can cover, like, the particularities of a greater number of people who might be shopping in my store and appeal to a greater number of people one way or the other, or maybe both.
Yeah. All right, I like that from both sides. I like the explanations on both. So I guess our main topic today, from a random video that I saw, I wish I could have seen what even was the main thing that about. For some reason, it just stuck out to me.
Were
And
you
it was
watching
about-
or were you listening?
Maybe, yeah, maybe that's what it was. I was more listening.
Just listening. That's how you watch most things.
Exactly. So he was saying, what's the number one thing you should think about? I think it would have been different timing, let's say 10 years from now, 5 years from now, let's say even when me and Ken started selling shoes more and more.
Mm-hmm.
But the number one thing to think about now when picking up an item to sell on eBay all comes down to search results. And not necessarily the title, make a great title, things like that. But just like, why would someone search for your item? How can they find your item? And when they do, how do you pretty much reel them into the sale when there's so many other sellers on that same item as well? Because at this point, finding a Nike anything doesn't guarantee you a sale. I would say if you would have came to me and Ken in 2014, I would say, hey, it's
Nike everything.
Yeah,
right?
it's a great price. It's got a swoosh on it. It's gonna move.
Yeah.
You know? But at this
Pick
point,
it up.
yeah, there's so much going out there. So that's what leads me into one item on each of your stores that did sell. And how and why did they sell? And how did you get someone to look at it when there's so many of that item that's out there?
Ken, Glenn has been doing a deep creep on our
he's
store.
been spying on our
How
store.
do
What a
you feel
creeper.
about that?
What a creeper.
Well, I actually feel comfortable that I'm not doing anything stupid because he's gonna call me out.
Glenn could be watching.
Yeah, because
He
early
sees you when
on,
you're sleeping. He knows.
no,
when
because
you're
early
awake.
on, Glenn was like, yo, like you have a Pittsburgh jersey that Jay-Z put like Pittsburgh Falcons or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like it was wrong. You know, right
I've
city,
done that.
wrong team, right?
I've confused Wolverines and Badgers, and
Yeah.
The
So
North will never
I'm
forgive me.
glad that he's been looking at it and he hasn't called out any flaws.
No
like
flaws.
that's the next episode.
Yeah. Store evaluation.
No, I know what we're calling this episode.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you, but
Oh, okay.
I thought of it already
Okay.
based on this experience. So.
Oh, no. Something to do with creeping.
No, actually, I'm not gonna make you sound creepy.
Okay, good. So,
Anyway.
one thing that Anna did sell was a $160 Patagonia rain jacket.
Oh,
That
I like
was,
that.
all right, men's XL. I would say great size.
great size. Yeah.
The color, green and bluish, which it's up in the air, right? Some people might want black
It's kinda
jacket,
bright,
gray.
yeah.
It's,
It's
this
bright,
one in
yeah.
this case is bright.
But a lot of
But-
Patagonia is bright.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
But in this case, Patagonia anything doesn't guarantee the sale, right?
That's true.
Just because
That's
you
true.
picked up Patagonia, all right, cool, great brand. There's a lot of pre-owned, there's a lot of brand new. Typing in Patagonia jacket in general, 94,000 results on eBay
Wow,
Ooh.
right now.
it's wild.
So to find Anna's jacket, 1 out of 94,000 plus, I mean, it's pretty unique and also
Pretty good.
interesting in a way to like, okay, well, how, why, what, would I pick this item up again? Do you have more of this item? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know.
Did you notice anything else about that item?
Well, it is a like specific rain jacket that does bring in a different, let's say, than some of the other like fleece that.
Yeah.
Sure,
That was
it's
like
outerwear.
waterproof, right? It's
Yeah.
waterproof. It's like you're
Yeah.
going to Amazon jungle. You're going to rainforest.
Yeah.
But did you notice that I actually sold 2 of them in the last couple days?
Oh, 2 of them. I only noticed the real most recent
both
one.
extra larges.
Both extra large.
Yep.
So
Oh,
first,
man.
explain a little bit more about this jacket before we dive into this 94,000 plus results.
Like the jacket itself,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. And when you got it, how did you feel about it? Did you feel like it was gonna move for big money or right away or?
well, rain jackets are very interesting because they don't really keep you warm,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
do keep you dry.
Try.
So I actually do feel I have other Patagonia and other rain jackets in my store, and I don't feel like rain jackets move really fast, generally speaking, in my limited experience. But I mean, I, found that item in a physical store and like got to feel it and look at it and look at all the way that it was made is extremely well made. And I saw like what the full retail price of it is, and third part, I saw what I was going to pay for it, and I thought there's no way I can lose, because remember, your girl is willing to wait for things to sell sometimes. So I thought this is something that will be totally worth the space it takes up for however long. I could sell it, at half of retail and still make a really good profit on it. I sold it for more than half of retail, but I'm pretty sure. I did accept offers on both of those, though.
Yes, I did.
Because of the rain jacket factor, right? Like, I've hardly gotten any traction on rain jackets. It's not like they immediately sell when I list them. But I do think, the person who's looking for that kind of specific type of outerwear is going to be willing to pay for Patagonia, which, is kind of an investment if you're an outdoorsy person, because they will like repair clothing that you own that's their brand until the end of time. Like, you can send it off to them and they'll fix it. It really is kind of an investment of a lifestyle thing for people. So, I just thought, okay, this is a cheap enough and a really well-made item that retails high enough that it's going to be worth, like, taking a little bit of a chance on it.
Man, I actually just looked at it and I thought it was the same jacket that I have.
It's not?
It's the same color. Well, like same series of colors, but mine's a women's XL.
Gosh. I have some women's of that same jacket.
That's
too,
why I was
but black ones.
I was like,
I have a lot of them in black too.
yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. The most bold looking ones
Right.
were the ones that sold first.
It's both, right? I feel like for like that brand, it's like either bright or just black.
Yeah, or like very
or
classic
like
neutrals.
navy blue. Like,
Yeah,
I've sold
navy,
so
tan.
many navy blue Patagonia, and I'm like, these people have to be so like, I could imagine them. They work at an office. They have a bike.
They work at a consulting firm specifically.
Yeah, they have
always
like
wear
a sling.
vest.
They have like a leather sling bag. You
Yeah,
know, that's how
right.
they look, and they bring a lunchbox with them.
Exactly.
Now,
here's
that's
the
good. That's a
interesting
good sale.
part.
That's a solid sale.
Yeah, that's a great sale.
Because I know
Both
you
of them
probably
were.
paid
I was
around.
thrilled.
You probably paid around 40 for them.
That's right.
Give or take,
43.
Yeah.
Now, did you feel that was a high risk at the time? Spending over 40 plus on a jacket? Or no, because the retail on it was like $230 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I thought, well, I could make like, if this sold for full retail and I made $200 on it, that would be incredible.
Oh,
but
crap.
it doesn't have to be that,
Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact,
What?
I sold 2 of the exact same jacket already. April 9th.
Oh, really?
Older. That is weird. The same jacket, men's XL. It's like, why do I have? Because I'm just looking at the solds.
There's some hiking club of extra large men out there.
Yeah,
who
that's
all
what
want to
it
get matching
is.
jackets, obviously.
A full team.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what it is?
full
It's
team.
it's spring. It's spring, so they're probably going to like, some mountain, and they're gonna get rained on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. They're going on a guy's trip, of course.
Dude's trip. Now,
Dude's
here's the
trip.
thing that I really wanted to break down, though. So I told you guys there's 94,000 results on Patagonia jacket alone.
Just jackets.
Just jacket. And we're not going deeper into men's,
Right,
women's,
right,
nothing.
yeah.
Just jacket, 94,000 plus results. What if I type in Patagonia fleece?
More.
75,000 results.
So there's way less rain jackets.
Which means Patagonia puffer jacket, 10,000 results.
Okay.
Patagonia rain jacket, 2,900 results.
2,900? Of course they found mine.
So when you're digging deeper into
Right.
okay, cool, we found this brand.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What makes it special? Like what
Like
Anna
the
told us.
type of it, yeah.
How can we narrow this down, even being more specific and maybe unique onto why someone would want the item? Now, out of the 2,900, brand new with tags, maybe pre-owned,
Right,
maybe the
right.
color, maybe the size, men's, maybe women's. Now we're getting into other factors. but that alone already eliminated like
Yeah.
thousands
Like
and
you're not
thousands of search
competing with a
results.
90,000 people, right? Or the
Yeah.
9,000
Right.
listing.
Exactly.
So you're like, what? That's like under one. That's under 1%. If I'm,
Yeah.
am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're under 1%. And Glenn, if you click solds on that rain jacket,
yeah, let's see solds.
the last 90 days, it's basically all of the listings
so
sold.
2,300 plus.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Huh?
That is
the last
crazy.
90 days, rain jackets, Patagonia rain jackets was popping.
Yeah.
So
Like a
90 days ago, there was probably 5,000 listings. Now
Yeah.
we're down to 2,300, and then there's
And who knows how many. I mean, I honestly don't remember when I listed those. Like, it was definitely Q1 or the beginning of Q2 of this year. So it probably was during Q1.
yeah.
But, like, that's not, it's not very long. And yet, how many other ones sold before mine sold?
Right. So yeah, it's like I sold 2 of
Yeah.
the same one, in XL, literally same exact size. So that is interesting. Now that you say that, Glenn, because you have to look at this stuff. I mean, like at the heat of the moment, it's hard to do it that way.
Yeah.
But it's it's cool to do it backwards now, but it just goes to show you that
Yeah.
you could take 2 minutes and actually narrow it down to like that.
But also, like, rain jackets, maybe even more so in some ways than other outerwear, is a more seasonal thing.
Yeah,
So, like,
super,
depending
yeah.
when you were sourcing those, what kind of data did you even have? Unless you were
Oh, you didn't
looking
have
at-
data, right? Because 30 days before winter was fall, or right?
Unless
Like,
you're looking at,
product
product
research.
research. But yeah, which now it's on mobile and you can, which is amazing. But I don't know if I did look at it or if I just I saw enough about, generally like
Yeah.
Patagonia jackets or something that I was like, if I see these for this price or less, I'm going to pick them up regardless.
I think at that
right?
point, right? Like anything,
It's more like
any
rules of thumb.
any Patagonia on a good size, basically 80% off.
Yeah.
You buy it.
Right.
Brand new with tags.
Yeah, right.
And what kind of makes it interesting, though, on the puffer jacket side, is that, I know the season is kind of weird right now as well, but they have 10,000 plus results, and even on their solds for puffers right now, 9,400 plus. So even their solds are great as well. When you
Yeah.
do the fleece, there's 75,000 plus, and then the solds are 23,000.
I thought there would be more fleece than jackets. I'm kind of surprised.
So just fleece in general.
Yeah,
So
I
we're
think
looking at
that
1/3, 1/4, I guess, of like the solds.
that's a pretty good brand. That's a solid brand. Like
Yeah.
like this is what I felt about Nike when I started selling on eBay.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
Like it's like you're paying 80% off. You can definitely sell it for 30% off easily. Like that. But you're right. There are definitely way more brands that are. Also, too, it's like we're talking about eBay, right? That's an aftermarket sales platform. So now I feel like we've had to, for the X amount of years Patagonia became a thing, consumers were only thinking you can only get it at, REIs, the Exporting Goods, Patagonia website, like those really outerwear.
Outdoorsy boutiques.
And when you say that, all of a sudden you're just thinking about full retail. People are buying full retail. But is it the economy where we're going, or the correction of economy where people now have to become smart shoppers? Now they're going to, like, instead of buying direct, why does it matter if I buy it from the manufacturers or I buy it off somebody's, aftermarket sales? Now you go to eBay. So I think that's where eBay shines. That's where the platform shines.
Yeah. And I feel like, if you're willing to spend $150 to $200 on a rain jacket, Patagonia, you mean business. Because you can get whatever rain jacket you want from Old Navy.
Yeah, you could get Walmart brand.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
literally get the clear
But-
plastic garbage bag looking. It'll still protect you from
That will not hold up in the Andes, okay? Not going to happen.
It's not gonna hold up with the swag factory. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely
Like
not.
you walk in and you have like Lion King, like
and Walmart's
Disney.
not going to, repair that for you when you take a tumble down the mountain and rip it open on a thorn bush or something.
That's
Patagonia will,
That's
Wow.
true.
which is really cool.
So that's why I feel like, despite the economy or whatever we're in now or then, the brand's gonna hold up.
Yep.
And the buyer's willing to pay, if they really want that item. And
Man, we live in the most marketed era of generation, so the brand
No
will
kidding.
hold up.
yeah, exactly.
We're
Unless-
extremely consumeristic society.
Right, unless brands stop spending money on ads, then I think we're fine. Unlike those brands that spend money on ads. So
I do
guess
feel like eBay really is a sweet spot for, like, if you want to put in more time or effort, to find a good deal on something because you have less money to spend, but you don't want to lower your standard of quality. Like, I think a lot of people are in that boat already, and maybe increasingly will be
Even
in that
more.
boat.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, that's totally where I fall. Like,
Yeah.
the baller on a budget, like
for sure. And it's like, okay, so if you don't have best offer on your listings and they're not moving,
oh, you're out. You gotta
Get
have
in
best
there.
offer.
add best offer and see what happens, right?
My second one is something totally different from Ken's store that has nothing to do with a shoe, a swoosh, nothing.
Oh no!
So-
Do you know what it is?
I'm gonna look at my history now. Let's see.
And why I chose this.
You
which is
better
kinda
beat him
funny.
to it.
But he doesn't know. Kenny has
He's
so many sold
looking.
items here that it could be anything at this point.
It could be anything. Yeah.
So the reason why I'm choosing this, where did it go? Now I can't even find it. There's so many items on here. Oh, there it is. It is a Free People
Oh,
women's romper.
okay. I know what you're talking about. I paid $20 for him.
is it the
boy.
onesie?
I paid $20 for him.
I've been
Yeah,
selling
we
those
can't
a
use
lot.
that word because that's
You
somehow-
might get Vero.
somehow-
Might get
Anna.
Vero.
But
Vero
We
they
get
did
Vero.
what Free People did. How did they do it?
They paid.
That
They
is
paid.
marked by Gerber. Did they?
They paid. They probably paid.
Interesting.
Or they? No, they didn't. They didn't call it onesie.
Yes, they did. Yes, that is like the name of it that they named it.
Well, I didn't. Use
I was
it on my
surprised by
list.
that. I didn't name it that.
Yeah.
Anyways, what color?
Well, there's like two or three of them that I could see that sold here. So there's like a purplish
That's called
lilac.
Trailblazer.
It's called lilac to
Lilac.
to be specific.
But
Lilac.
their name for it is Trailblazer.
Oh, Anna's teaching us some stuff here.
Because I've been selling them too. I love those. I actually have one.
Oh, have one. Okay.
Yeah, they're super cute.
The reason why I wanted to choose this too is because, okay, so is there like a lot of fake Free People? Or
I don't know.
not
I've
really?
I've heard there's like seconds like the Lululemon has been
Yeah.
getting some. Yeah.
Because
I've heard.
on Whatnot, there's a lot of people that want Free People and they want it now. And I
Cheap.
figure like this is a hard brand to get bulk on, I would think.
Right.
But then again, I don't know a ton
No.
of Free People stuff. So, but I also chose this too because, okay, typing in Free People in general, 460,000 results.
What?
Almost half a
Well, I
million.
guess that's any article of clothing
yeah.
or accessory. They have accessories and stuff too.
Oh.
Free People dress.
You should
Okay.
put in jacket, so we have a direct comparison to Patagonia.
Oh,
let's see,
Free
let's see.
People jacket.
Ooh, way more.
Is
We're
it?
looking
19,000.
On the
Just
up and
jacket.
Yeah, just on jacket.
Well, also too, I feel like Free People, it's like an older brand that's became a status of mainstream fashion. Would you agree, Anna?
An older brand? I don't know.
Like for me, I mean, I was like as far as brand recognition, I've recognized Free People more and longer than I have with, I guess, a Patagonia jacket.
I think it's the opposite for me.
Mm.
But
That's,
I don't know. That
It could be. It could
Yeah.
be because you pay attention to outerwear,
maybe. Or like
right?
or like outdoorsy things.
Outdoorsy stuff. That is interesting.
Free
So, Glenn,
People
continue to
was
your
founded
question.
in 1984.
Wow. And
That's old.
Patagonia.
1973.
That's what I thought. I was gonna guess 1975.
Older.
So it is older, but perception is everything in marketing.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
really
true.
interesting.
But because
I would
there's just,
never have thought Free People was that old.
there's way more. I guess there's just way more access to it, right? Like you can buy cheaper Free People compared to like a Patagonia, right? Like
Yeah.
and also Free People is mainstream. I would say mainstream women's, so they're more fashion driven.
Yeah, it
oriented.
is more like fashion.
Right. Like I feel like Patagonia is more like utility driven, and then now they've had its status. But what was your question? Go ahead.
Well, going to Free People dress, we're looking at 100,000 plus results.
Okay.
Now, Free People romper or jumpsuit, those type of words, 6,400 results.
Okay.
Wow.
Like we're really narrowing it down.
Yeah.
I don't know what onesie looks like. I don't know if they'll.
I don't think it'll.
Or
I
like,
don't think
or
it'll come
one.
up.
A lot of people will say one piece instead of onesie, but it is an interesting thing because like even just talking about rompers, it's like there's like dressy rompers that you could like wear to a wedding, and then these are like athleisure rompers.
Yeah.
It's like a very specific thing,
or like a casual.
super
right?
casual.
Like a casual, yeah.
but like stylized and not super utilitarian. You know, like.
It's more like
It's
it's more like a
fashion
yoga vibe, right? Like a.
But
a
I'm just
casual-
telling you, from having worn this exact item, like
It's
you could not
worth
get
it.
that
It's
dressed up
worth
to
it.
do yoga in it. No, you're just looking cute. You're looking cute, sitting in the bleachers
it's a
at some sporting event.
it's a thing that you wear with your on clouds to go to
Yes.
Target.
Or you go with your
it's
bestie
a-
to get
it's
your
a
iced
Target.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a Target brunch kind of looking like, you know, you guys work out, but not really.
Right. This is what I wear after my workout when I'm just being fashion.
It's a lounge. It's a lounge wear.
Right. Yeah.
Free People onesie, there's only 200 results.
Yeah,
Because I think they're getting
Because
Viral.
everyone's
Yeah.
avoiding the word.
They're getting viroed as we speak.
Oh, no.
Free People One Piece
I gotta check and see how if I said mine were onesies.
is
or
actually
not.
17,000 results.
Oh.
Using One Piece, like Anna had said. So One Piece, romper, I think it's obviously the more words you use, probably the
Yeah,
better. But you get the idea of what you're looking at compared to, let's say, some of like the crop t-shirts, long sleeve. There's so many different items on here from Free People. That you
Yeah,
can
there's
go-
so many categories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to find those items, because you didn't just sell one, you sold multiple, just like Anna did
Yeah.
on the jacket. It's very interesting to me because you have to find this very specific item
Right.
on so many search results, and so
Yeah.
I mean that's really I do agree a lot with what this person had said. I mean going through the search results I think means all, because
Yeah.
how are you gonna move some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which goes back
I
to
mean-
like my hats. I'm trying to sell hats, you know, between Whatnot and eBay. And if I go new era, I could go A-frame, I could go golfer, I could go trucker, I could go fitted. There's categories in between.
Yeah.
But I think what also is interesting on the hat side, there's not really like a $200 hat.
Right.
I mean, there's some.
Retail-wise,
they're
yeah.
really, really expensive and
Yeah.
maybe like collabs or something.
or rare, right?
Yeah.
Like very. Yeah.
But for the most part, a lot of these are 30 to 40, maybe 60 at the highest on like a fitted hat. But looking at Free People and Patagonia, these type of things, you're looking at 70, 90, 120, the jackets, 220
Oh, yeah.
retail. I think
Dude.
that also comes into play on how you're being seen and being found, and not just a regular item that's kind of lost in the abyss of this all.
I have to
Yeah.
report back on this, but I did find a $900 Patagonia outerwear,
Oh.
and I can't even remember. I think I paid $70 for it.
Oh,
So I just took photos of it today, and I haven't listed it yet. It's probably like, who's gonna want this? It's like going to the Arctic Circle type of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious to see like what it will actually sell for. There are just a handful of comps, and they're
Right.
all really high. So I don't know. Maybe there's enough people going to the Arctic Circle at any point in the year that someone will still buy it.
Yeah, they might buy my caribou sorrel boots.
Maybe
Those are the kind of people that,
yeah.
you know, it's like, oh man, this is just the extreme
Yeah,
insulation,
it's so
right?
extreme.
Yeah. No, I think my take when we saw this pieces is one is I've seen a lot of free people just from looking at the pieces. I used to like buy free people for JC from Poshmark and whatnot. So that's how I became familiar with the brand. But I think what caught me in this piece is the style. The style is now. It is a very, you pair it with your Asics, Air Force One, kind of like you're not a sneakerhead, but it looks cool pairing it with the sneakers. So that's kind of like where I saw this, and I was like, okay. And actually, as a matter of fact, this was one of our last buys because they were still expensive, when we saw them initially, and they just started going down in price because, like $128. Even if it's half off, it's still $70. Like 60 something bucks.
Yeah.
That's still expensive for a piece of, that they might find dupes on,
But it's your whole outfit.
Exactly. It's a whole outfit. It's cheap, right?
So don't say it.
It's a whole outfit. So all you got to do is provide shoes. That's it. And everybody already has school shoes. So that's kind of like my take on that. And this was 80% off retail. So at that price, it's like, it's hard. I mean, because like to be honest, I really considered that it takes more time to list this piece. A onesie, it's hard to photograph. You have to measure. There's just a lot more to it.
Yeah.
So
I
that
think
was my take on that.
With retail ARB, definitely what's the ceiling on this price for this item is just a really important question, because like you're saying, Ken, there's all kinds of free people stuff that you could get for really cheap, but it still might be like a $30 shirt that maximum retail price for it would be $30. Like, you just might not spend your time on that when you could instead spend twice as much but get something that retails for $130, right?
Yeah, like the half off. You're at the half off range already, right?
Yeah.
And then you're at the really, any $150 piece of clothing is already expensive. But if you get that half off, that's a good analogy.
I've learned as a noob that is really important.
I wouldn't spend the time to scroll through eBay to get a $50 shirt for $25.
Yeah.
Right? More likely or less, I would have paid 35 or 40 of it on the original website where it came from when they actually have the 10-20% off coupon sale. But for example, for shoes, for like running shoes, I would scour eBay first because there are people that are selling it half off retail compared to if I went to Nike.com. Nike would probably be only 30% off or 20% off. So that is a good maybe that is a case to present that when you're looking at retail ARB, when there's a lot of option, would you go expensive or cheap? The $50, anything at $50 that's half off its original price may be worth the scroll.
Yeah.
That is an article right there.
Yeah. I think another thing that all of this kind of speaks to is just how searchable is the item. Like, it's important, like, everything you've presented about this, Glenn, is like, how far can you drill down and see what your competition really is? And that's important. But I think just taking some little lessons from the retail arbitrage side to apply to any item. I mean, I am being way pickier about what kind of vintage stuff I'm picking up at auctions and thrift stores and yard sales and all that. And that has become a way more prominent question in my mind when I'm assessing any item, is like, how searchable is this? Does it have like really specific style keywords, if not a brand? Because more often than not, I run into things that don't have a brand. And it's like, well, this is really cool, but can someone find it? Yeah. And I've also been using Google image search more than ever lately. And that's helped me a lot. So I hope a lot of other buyers are doing that too for the things that are a little harder to identify, like again, if it's a good enough item and the price is there, both on the buying and the selling side, like maybe it's worth being a little bit more difficult to ferret out.
Right.
But you have to think about just what Ken said, like, is this something that your buyer's going to be willing to go hunt for if it's going to require a hunt or if it's going to require lots of pages of results, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Very, very, very good point there. And going through the results, everything, doing the research, I feel like sometimes if it's cheap, we just want to pick it up because,
Yep.
hey, it's cheap. But
Yeah.
there's so much more factors that come into play there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was our main topic today. What do you guys think?
Oh, I like it. I like
This
it.
is a good
Alright.
one.
All right.
Do you want to know the episode title?
Yes.
It's grilling season.
It's it's really
Glenn's
Cool.
grilling us
In the
on our stores.
It's
As a matter of fact, I'm actually looking to buy a barbecue grill or charcoal grill.
Are you? We
Mhm.
need to get
So-
one too. We don't have one.
So,
I like chilling and grilling.
chilling and grilling.
I'll submit that to the committee.
Creeping.
Creeping and,
And
grilling.
chilling.
Creeping and grilling.
All right. Anything else
funny.
before we go?
No, that was pretty much it. That was a great episode.
Thanks, Glenn.
Huge shout out to our sponsors, eBay. Make sure you follow them at eBay for sellers, and also make sure if you're a seller or looking to become a seller, make sure you attend the summer check-in, and that's pretty much right around the corner. We'll put the links on our episode notes, and also to our other sponsor, Sell Ledger. Huge shout out to them. Taxes is done, but we
Praise.
always gotta do our taxes every year. So try it. You don't need credit card to try it for a full month. So thank you all, and we will see you on the next episode. Peace.
See ya.
Bye.